Starting. Okay, we're live now. So we can start. Everyone have everything pulled up right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll read the first question. We already know 1 and 2. So the public opinion poll surveyed a simple random several thousand voters. Responses were classified by gender, female or male, and by voting preference, Republican, Democrat, or Independent. These are the results here. In this set of questions, we will explore the research question: do men voting preference differ significantly from women voting preference? Level significance, 5/10. Which of these sets is appropriate for addressing the research question?
I put down the third one, and the reasoning is, it says in the textbook that for most of these chi-squared tests, the null hypothesis is going to be independent, and the alternative hypothesis is going to be not independent. So that's why I put that one down.
And that one's
The third one.
yeah. I see what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Degree of freedom. It's the second one, right?
No, it's not.
It's number of rows minus 1 times number of rows, number of columns minus 1.
Yeah, it's the last one.
It's this. Oh, okay. Oh my.
This one is. Yep.
So we've got what is it? I think it's 2 columns times 3 rows. So 2 minus 1 is 1 times 2 is 2. That's what I put down.
So wait, what did we get for that?
So if you go up in the voting preference data blocks that he gave us, we've got 2 rows, or 2 rows times 3 columns. So rows are down, columns are across. So if you do 2 minus 1, that's 1, times 3 minus 1, which is 2. So 1 times 2 is 2 degrees of freedom.
So 2 degrees. So you just use that equation, right? That's what I was just following.
Yep, and I also actually put the information into the chi-squared test on the categorical data analysis, and it gave me the same answer.
Oh, is that the Excel spreadsheet they gave to us?
Yeah, it's the one that we did yesterday with the 2 proportions, and the one we did last week for the 1 proportion. It'll show up. You just put your information inside the row and columns block, which is colored blue.
You mean the chi-square?
The chi-squared.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you put the numbers in there, so if you just go and take the numbers from the actual test, it'll actually spit out a test statistic, degrees of freedom, and p-value for that.
Nice. Oh my gosh. Did I just delete that? Okay. Number 6.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't able to see the degree of freedom. That's why. Because my Excel sheet is a little bit too small.
No, gotcha.
It's all good, man.
So question 6 says, are the requirements for conducting a chi-squared test for independence met by this data set?
We're supposed to just look at that sheet, right, that we created?
You can look at the sheet, or you can look at the textbook, and it kind of gives you the requirements needed. If you go on to 2 point, underneath 2, after the lesson outcomes under 2.1 where it says requirements, it gives us 2 requirements for conducting a chi-squared test. The first one is that you have to use a simple random sampling to obtain a sample from a single population, which we have. And then the second one is each expected count must be greater than or equal to 5. So they explain what counts are, and that's basically the numbers that go into a chi-squared test, because a chi-squared test is actually a categorical test, not a quantitative test, so we have to use numbers to infer the difference between the two. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, so this one's a categorical, right?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why we're using, that's why our null hypothesis is stating that, you know, the voting preferences are independent, and then the null hypothesis or the alternative is not independent. We're not using a number to state what a null and alternative
So
hypothesis.
isn't our x squared just our test statistic then?
No, the x squared is the actual test that we're conducting. X is the Greek term for the chi, so that's just another way of writing it out. So x to the second power is chi-squared test.
Pi squared x. So whatever number we get for that, it compare it to our degrees of freedom or no?
Now, basically, so I don't know if I'm explaining myself right. When it's saying x2, that's just stating conducting a chi-squared test in itself. It's not asking us for x2 right now. It's asking if the requirements are met so that we can be able to conduct the test itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
it's not actually asking us for a number. It's asking whether or not we can actually take this test and it's going to have accurate data. So basically, you have to check whether or not we have random sampling, and then you have to check whether or not each cell within our data has at least 5 counts in it. So the number 5 or more.
So it's the first one, right?
Yeah, because there is. I looking at it based off of what was just talked about. Yeah.
So does everyone have
And then
that
we
one?
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on number 7, what is the value of x square test statistics? So do we just square the test statistics?
No, it should. You should just have a spit out test statistic for
Oh,
it.
so
Be 16.204.
okay, that's what I got too. So
And it's on that sheet, right?
Yeah.
then
Okay.
p value is
Point.
around 0.000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put down too.
0.0. I don't even know how that's an answer. Maybe it's just put 0.
It's because it's asking us to round to 3 decimal places, and the p-value is 0.0003.
Yeah,
But since
003.
it's 3, we can't round up because it's underneath 5.
Yeah. Which of the following statements best describes the outcome of this study? There is not enough evidence, right? Based on or no. Let's see.
This one's, I think this one's a little confusing because usually it would say there's not enough evidence.
Yeah.
But what we're asking is, so our p-value is less than 0.05. So that means that we reject the null. And the null hypothesis is that they are independent. So that means that we have sufficient evidence to suggest that the voting preferences are not independent.
So the third one?
No, because that one's actually double redundant.
Oh.
Because it's saying there's not enough evidence to suggest that the preferences are not independent, which ends up equivalating to our null hypothesis.
Oh. So it is. Then it's the fourth one then.
No, because we're not asking about more
See,
voters.
that's where I don't get this one, because, or is it saying that? Let me see.
So our questions are asking about the gender and voting preferences, not whether or not we have more or less than one or the other.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're just throwing that one in there to throw us off.
Is it the first one?
That's what I put down.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Does that make sense to why we would choose the first one, though? Do you guys understand?
Yeah, that makes more sense. They were just throwing me off because usually in the past we would, when it wasn't high enough, there wasn't enough evidence.
Yeah, that one. This one's kind of throwing us off on that one.
But I get how it's that one because that's with the test that we're doing. So there is enough evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not dependent. That makes sense.
Does that make sense to you, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page on that. I can read question 10. You guys don't actually have to open up this chiropractor Excel document. I mean, you can if you want to and copy and paste, or you can just use the box that he gave us. So the research question for this study is, do people in Europe, Australia, and the United States seek chiropractic care for the same reasons? Use a level of significance of 0.05, and the hypotheses for this study are null hypothesis is the location and motivation to visit a chiropractor are independent. And the null or alternative hypothesis is the location and the motivation to visit a chiropractor are not independent. So based on that, are the conditions for conducting a chi-squared test for independence satisfied?
Does the Excel sheet tell us if it's satisfied or not, or do we have to figure that out on our own?
No, it doesn't tell us whether or not they're satisfied or not. But for chi-squared tests, most of the time they are doing random sampling because they're just trying to get a certain count. So that first part of the requirement is fulfilled. The second one is you just have to make sure every single cell is above 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be
Is it
true.
the same cell that's showing here?
What?
Is it the same one that's showing up here when we download it?
Yeah, it's the same data. It's showing horizontally instead of vertically. So this
So
one shows more of a rectangle. The other one shows more up and down.
So that would be true because everything is above 5.2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so question 11 is, what are the degrees of freedom? Would it be 12?
I got 8.
I also got 8 on that. Where did you get 12 from?
I just got the numbers from the
Oh, I see where you got it from. Okay, so totals aren't actually in part of the they're accumulated already inside the chi-squared test.
Oh, yeah.
So that one's actually not a row or a column, just so you know. That might throw you off a little bit.
But I just went too far. Oops.
Gotcha.
I got 8 now. Sorry.
Okay.
And for the next one, I got 7.436 as a test x squared test statistics.
That's what I got too.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
P-value 0.490.
Yep.
And number 14. And there we okay.
So this is where they're going to try to trick us again.
I hate these.
So our p-value is still not high enough, right?
No, it's
Or no,
higher. It's higher.
Now it's high enough it's higher than the level of significance.
So that means we failed to reject the null hypothesis. So our null hypothesis was that the location and motivation for going to see a chiropractor in all 3 countries are the same. So they're what is it?
Insufficient.
They are independent. So that's a null hypothesis. So location and motivation to visit a chiropractor are independent. So if we fail to reject the null hypothesis, there should be insufficient evidence to suggest that motivation to visit a chiropractor is not independent of the location.
So the second one, because that's
Yeah,
the second one, right? That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll just submit it right now.
yeah, I submitted already, and I already got 100% on that.
Yep. Awesome.
Sweet. That was easy.
Oh, I love these.
Yeah, I actually really like these chi-square tests. They're pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Because you just plug it in, all of it's plugged into the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, they gave
Hey.
us all the evidence we needed, and you don't have to like take care of confidence intervals or margins of error or anything like that.
Man, those stuff would kill me all the time. Hey guys, have we heard back from the teacher at all for our thing?
No, I haven't heard back from them, and I haven't received any grade yet on the
Assignment.
design the study yet. So
Do we have any?
probably,
I feel like
What?
it's not gonna come till after Thanksgiving now.
yeah, he might not give it to us because Thanksgiving's next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like once Thanksgiving week comes, like everyone turns off. So
Yeah.
So do we have
Yeah.
anything to do this week with our project? Or is that
No, it's next. It's week 11 that we have stuff to do. So next
Next
week.
weekend?
Okay.
Is it next weekend?
You mean the
Yeah.
Thanksgiving weekend?
It says on there that week 11 is when. Let me look up the table of contents again.
Dang, because then they have to they had to approve it for us to start doing stuff for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Plus,
we could
all of
always
us
just
are probably gonna
assume.
be pretty much taken off for Thanksgiving.
That's
Yeah, we could always assume that he's approved it already. But let me check. So design the study was due last week.
and we,
Collecting the data is due on the 26th at 11 p.m.
yeah, and I'm doing that, right?
I think we all are doing collecting the data. We
Oh,
all have to run tests.
I'm doing describe the data, am I?
Yeah, you're doing the describe the data, and then
I am. I'm like the action one, right?
yeah, you're taking action.
Take
So
action.
I think you and Kazuya
Mm-hmm.
work together due December 10th because it says that the make inference and take action are together. So, I mean, that should be super easy. And then we just have a PowerPoint presentation that's due on the 15th that will just pull all the stuff that we have from it.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty easy because we can use like one of us could create like a Google slide, you know? That way we
Yeah,
can.
I was actually thinking that I'll just start creating a Google slide.
Mhm.
So once we have our data, we can actually just all put it into there, and then we can start working everything together from there on. So as soon as we hear back from him, I'll create a Google slide, and then and like a Google Doc or something like that, and then we can just send it to each other, and we can all work on it together.
Yeah, that'll be easier.
Sweet.
Okay. So I'll let you guys know if I hear back from him on it,
Okay.
and then yeah, and then Celestia, will you just post this on the?
Yeah, I'll post it right
Okay,
after I
collaboration.
stop broadcasting right here in a sec.
Okay, sweet. All right. Well, you guys have a good day.
All right. You guys too.
You guys too.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you guys. Have a good day.